In our player schemes, this is what I've got written down. For those of you who are watching at home, if you're not already on the Discord, you should join, and you might be part of our schemes.
I know.
We need friends. We need all the friends.
So many friends. Because I'm just Bingus posting most of the servers.
We need to start outnumbering these AOS people.
Yeah.
I know, like, show up.
Yes.
Don't harsh on my AOS audience. Come on.
Yes.
Chat gang ain't
Overshadow
nothing to fuck
AOS.
with. There's a thing for a reason.
Yeah,
Show up,
I am
chat gang.
half tempted to see if I could trade my space walls for, like, something AOS-y.
Might I
Ooh.
recommend any Death Faction?
No. No, it'd be like Sylvaneth.
Sylvaneth
If
is
I-
really good right now.
Yeah.
If I can't have my Wanderers, I'm going to go with Sylvaneth.
Sam plays Sylvaneth.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They just got a new tome too, and they're sweet.
Yeah, they're actually really good.
And Andrew, have I ever sent you a picture of my fully converted zombie maw crusher?
No, but I'm
With
about
open
it.
Flesh and organs and muscle striation. And
I mean, that sounds metal as hell.
I'll send it to you.
have to
It
send
was for an army project I never did, but I did the full thing, and I'm like, yeah. And then I just put everything else to the side and quit playing the game for 3 years.
To be fair, there's 2 years of a global pandemic and kind of
Yeah.
somewhere.
See, I like to think that finishing second at NashCon and then retiring, it was like, this is the highest I'm ever gonna get.
Mm.
So now I'm just done, and I walked away.
Yeah, you walked away out on top, like Bill Murray in Space Jam. Go out on top, right? Undefeated, untied.
Even Sal knows you bring them to the tree first.
You bring them to the tree first before you show her the wood. You know what I'm saying? Hey, mamma mia. I've gotten us off the rails. We need to start soon.
We're just trying to give Ty enough time to drink his milkshake,
good.
and I'm reading this
I'm good.
script here, and
I'm good.
I feel we should have done our content warning first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do
before-
content.
there might be talk of
This is a
talk
good
of
segue.
How not to approach somebody via DM that you do not know, or that you know for that matter.
Speaking of not wanting to
Just
see
don't.
material that makes you uncomfortable, today's content warning.
The following show takes place in the world of darkness and explores narratives of personal horror. This story is a work of fiction and is not official World of Darkness material. Many of the themes are portrayed from a place of empathy, but may be uncomfortable to some listeners. Episodes may contain coarse language, mental and emotional abuse, violence, mental illness, and blood. Listener discretion is advised.
Will.
Portions of the materials are the copyrights and trademarks of Paradox Interactive AB and are used with permission. All rights reserved. For more information, please visit www.worldofdarkness.com.
I forgot there was another part to that. I was going to say will be coarse language. Will be.
Yeah, there has already been coarse language.
Oh yeah, yours truly.
I will be DMing my course language tonight.
No.
Be ready
Promise?
for it, Andrew.
Oh,
Just no
baby.
DPs.
Yeah.
Just no.
Like, as as someone who puts the demisexual and demi-lich, like my brain sometimes just doesn't register. So I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. You know, like it's such an inert thing, or like maybe I've been desensitized by the internet. I'm like, yeah, and it just
Oh yeah.
keep moving.
As a Zoomer, yes, I was very desensitized. As a fellow dummy, I'm just like, okay, like I'm a whore, but you gotta get close emotionally first. You gotta
Yeah, the whore for the soul, though, not like.
Whore for the soul. I'm a slut for the soul. Speaking of being a slut for the soul, Vampires do Diablerie. This is a cutaway.
Good segue. Yeah, I'm already off the script. Charlotte just shared. I'm like that instant. But welcome to Milwaukee by Night. I am the magical Mr. Mephisto, the most interviewingest of B. Dave Walters, ST, currently live on Twitch right now. Okay, that's a mouthful for a moniker. Anyway, I did get to interview B. Dave Walters, and that video is going to come out later. It's so awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, check it out. It was good.
It was, yeah. I've never been afflicted simultaneously by imposter syndrome and like pure ego high, like ever until that interview where it was like simultaneously like getting it was awesome. Anyway, we are going to be running our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition campaign here, Chronicle, Milwaukee by Night, Endless Elegy. This is part 15, Neon Halos. I'm gonna go ahead and let Ty maybe do the recap since who wants to do the recap real quick from last week.
I feel like
Or should we do player introductions first and then 1 week off and my brain is mush, or maybe it's the
Same.
multiple 14-hour work shifts and not maybe it's that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do intros first.
Let's do intros
Yeah,
first.
let's do
Abby,
first.
save me.
I mean, that's what I'm here for. But hi, I'm Abby, and tonight I will be taking on the guise of our lovely, or rather less than lovely in the latest nights, Nosferatu Pixie. And if you want to keep watching me do wild things, check me out on the Bird website at Enough of Abby, where I'm doing a lot of stuff. It's kind of my RPG hot girl summer.
Excellent. And I just got coarse language sent to me in a DM.
Jealous.
Wish
No one
that
ever
was
sends
me.
Yeah, no one ever sends me coarse language.
Fantastic. So, speaking of coarse language, how's it going, Charlotte?
It is going well. I am Charlotte, as Andrew just stated, and I am playing Sera, the currently unknown something or other, tonight. If you want to check out, see what I'm doing, which actually right now is not a lot. It is this. This is my life. And actually, you can find me here again tomorrow, because we're doing something tomorrow.
Mhm.
Not sure what. Don't know what.
Rantathon or Rantcast. Sorry, Rantcast. My weekly, the best Warhammer show that's not actually about Warhammer. It's all about nerd adjacencies and stuff. You might hear some inside baseball regarding this show, game design, video game design, RPG community stuff, gaming community stuff, and I might put Charlotte on the spot with her awesome. Maybe share some pictures of her awesome Sisters of Battle cosplay. I still remember. I never forget. Look at the face immediately.
I have the Greaves done. Not even done. That's it. I haven't had more time to do anything.
the best Greaves I've ever seen for Sisters of Battle. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so yeah, you'll be back here tonight. This is a flippin' busy week.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
If you
Go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to see what I'm doing, check me out at Foxfire22, FOXFYRE22 on the Twitters.
Yeah, right on. And next up, the man with no name, Ty. How's it going, Ty?
It's going well, and I am here with coarse language for everyone this evening.
Yeah.
And if you want more coarse language from me, you can hit me up on that Twitter at FatKidSports. And come listen to Playin' and Slayin', podcast I do about all things gaming, tabletop, board, card, whatever, RPGs, you name it. And then I just did a guest spot on a show, Ashes of Creation, is a MMO RPG coming in the near future. And the Ashes Pathfinders, we did some theory crafting on some of the classes and the Lineage 2 influence on the game. And you can find them on YouTube. Ashes Pathfinders is a fun show.
Yeah, right on. And last but not least, my oldest friend in the world, Sam. How's it going, man?
I'm doing all right. I'll be playing Cass, Resident Malkavian, and you never have to worry about me sliding into your DMs.
No, but I'm worried that you're abusing your mic or your computer. Something is...
What?
Violent. Something's violent on that side.
I was slamming something around. Yeah. Yeah.
Angry.
I who wouldn't want to get slammed around by our resident Malkavian.
Horse language.
God damn it.
It's gonna be one of those sessions.
It is.
It's okay. It's okay. We stated our disclaimer.
Yeah.
We're safe.
We did. Now I can be as disgusting as I wish. Within
Fucking
reason.
thirsty Abby coming out like 15 sessions in.
Look, I finally cut off a very terrible person in my life. I've been coming out fully. It is my hot vampire girl summer.
Yeah. No, and I am, of course, Mephisto, like I said at the jump, but you can call me Andrew if you feel like. It doesn't matter. It's all right. Any of my random monikers I come up with, I'll tell you if I don't like it. All right, so, yeah.
Also, hold on 1 second. No, 1 second. If this is your first episode you're tuning into, we usually have a sixth, but he is off doing his own little shit right now, and that is Scott, who's playing Ben Sahar, our resident Tremere. Okay, now you can continue.
No, thank you. Yeah, so Ben Sahar's off for the night, doing very important stuff. Totally not actual
near real
occultism
Milwaukee.
IRL.
He's evidently near real Milwaukee.
Yeah, I'm actually like excited. I hope he goes and takes the time to like look around, and can then like, verify some of like the quirkier things about Milwaukee, that sort of juxtaposition between like the old and the new buildings, where you'll have these glass skyscrapers wedged right next to like an 1800s cathedral. You have these, sort of once world-renowned sky bridges where you could walk in downtown Milwaukee during winter and never have to touch the ground and traverse the entirety of downtown, that have sort of fall into disrepair or neglect. And a lot of Milwaukee sort of exists in this space of sort of former like blue collar hub of excellence, that sort of industrial, like in the industrial collapse and the sort of neo-capitalism and Reaganomics really just sort of stripped from Milwaukee gradually over and over time. And as one of those early industrial cities, as one of these blue collar hubs, sort of back during that sort of industrial surge, Milwaukee was just big enough as a city to, not go the full Gary, Indiana route and just utterly collapse, but to kind of limp on in that sort of amalgam of service industry. And on these days in the city of Milwaukee, it's sort of in a period of reinventing itself, finding its heart and its soul again. Of course, that is Milwaukee by day, and as the sun sort of crests, almost like it's spat out from Lake Michigan on the east shores of Milwaukee, and crests the sky, being swallowed into the darkness off on the horizon, we enter Milwaukee by night. The coterie has been tasked by the Prince of Milwaukee, Decker, the tyrant prince, sometimes known, to find evidence. Well, maybe it was Arjun Shah that really kind of was harping on that subject. One of the judges of Milwaukee. And Milwaukee is considered a Camarilla city, but it's sort of like Camarilla Plus. It follows the traditions of the Camarilla, enforces all of their rules, but then it's got some extra rules on top of it that are called Decker's Law, and sort of a streamlined, as he'd call it, elder council. The elders didn't really serve Milwaukee so well when many of them were being called to the beckoning and the werewolves weren't. The onslaught of lupine continued, and elders couldn't be replaced enough. So, as a necessity, Decker would say, he switched into his own sort of power structure. Some might call it a little totalitarian, considering in place of a Primogen Council, you now have the Anubi, his personal biker gang of enforcers, as operating as sort of like his primary council. And then beneath the Anubi, you have these judges, 3 of them, a council on which Decker is also one. So he has what are supposed to be these neutral arbiters he's part of, and then beneath them, the messengers, which are kind of going to be closer to your like harpies and they kind of fill a couple roles. And that's the Milwaukee way. The coterie received a call. Rather, Sal received a call the other evening. A panicked voice of someone familiar saying that Elizabeth told me if I needed help, call you type thing. And they showed up to find a newly embraced Sera, a recently ashed mystery vampire, and the desiccated remains of a diablerized sundown. They went to stand trial, or at least they thought, in front of the judge, and what seemed like it might have actually been on the nature of Sera quickly turned into scrutinizing the coterie's results with the Sabbat. The word of Kindred is kind of one of the only things they have. The whole boon system operates on the fact that Kindred will kind of hold up their word. Arjun Shah wanted more evidence than the coterie's word that they had a Sabbat problem. A little bit more. And that brings us to this evening. The coterie at their respective havens, Pixis, New and Improved, or are you not yet moved out yet, I guess?
I have not. I haven't found out the Elizabeth thing just yet.
Okay. All right. So you're still in your excellent, as posh as a storm sewer could possibly be, like maintenance hub. Sal's, got that east side townhouse. Cass from wherever. Where's Sera staying? With Sal? This would have stayed with Sal sort of like the evening prior?
Yes, yeah.
And Ben Sahar was quite troubled leaving that meeting with Decker. You've been around Ben Sahar many nights in rather tense and wild situations. From sort of discorporated waiting rooms in the middle nothing space of what may or may not have been an intense Malkavian, dementation hallucination. You've sort of tripped the rift between what seemed like timelines. You've been through stuff, and you've never seen Ben Sahar quite like you saw them last night. It was like Ben Sahar, who's got a little bit of a different relationship with their beast, couldn't stop its whispers in their ear. And they left that meeting last night when the rest of the coterie went to kind of like poke around the city, turn over some rocks. Ben Zahar left. And you'll find this evening, if any attempts to get a hold of Ben Sahar are unsuccessful. So the coterie, I'd imagine, decides to go about their business. The night is young. You've all recently stirred. I want to check in on Sera and Sal first. Sal, you keep your tree at your haven.
The limb, yeah, I keep a limb from the tree there.
Okay.
No.
And Sera, despite your world being inverted the previous night, you find that sleep, when it comes at dawn, was relatively untroubled. Alarmingly untroubled. Save for the few blinks right before you wake up at dusk, where you get little tense flashes of your distorted image in the mirror, the blood on your hands, and the darkness that you could feel pressing upon your eyes. And then you waken. Blackout drapes, maybe covered bed in one of Sal's like extra rooms, probably secured down in the basement somewhere.
I startle awake and try to find a light switch for a lamp on the bedpost, or not finding that, the light switch to the room itself. sorry, would there be an a lamp on the
Well,
night
Sal, this is your
table?
haven. What do you think the layout is here?
I mean, it's modest, right? It's not like well decorated or ornately designed, but um, this is a relatively standard uh, furnished bedroom. You know, there's probably a dresser, armoire, and one wall, the bed, and a nightstand and lamp. Nothing massive, but it's you know a well appointed home on the Lower East Side of town. So certainly blackout curtains, though. There's security. It's an interior room.
Right on, right on.
Yeah, so I wake up, try and paw around to find the switch for the bedside table, which I remember being there the night before. I find it, find the switch, click it, and nothing happens. Nothing turns on. And I try a few more times, click, 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 nothing's turning on. I can't see anything because obviously it's dark, the lights are all off, and blackout curtains, and it's nighttime, so the darkness is the darkness. So I get up out of bed, still wearing the clothes that I went to sleep in, move towards where I assume the light switch would be for the room itself, and turn that on, and click, 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 and still no light. So at this point, I start to panic a little bit. Why can't I turn on the lights? What's going on? And then I start to think of, while I'm panicking, why isn't my heart beating? Where's my heartbeat? Put my hand on my chest, nothing. Why don't I need to breathe? And then at the thought of not breathing, I take a huge gasp in, but then I don't have to let it out. It just stays there. And now I'm panicking even more. I want to freak out. I want to hyperventilate. But my body's not cooperating with that. And now the dark feels so oppressive that I can't breathe again. So dropping to my knees, I put my hands on the floor for a minute, try and feel the coolness in the floor to get some sensation to know that I am still here, that I'm still alive. And feeling the coolness of the floor, my senses start coming back to me, and now I start to see a little bit of light start to seep in around the edges of my vision, and that starts to calm me down a little bit more, and more light flood in. And when the room is almost fully lit, I look around and I see these shadows start to draw back into the corners of the room and into the dark places, underneath the bed, into the closet, underneath the door that's leading out to the hall that I walked down the night before. When the room is fully backlit and back to where it's supposed to be, I then stand up. For good measure, I try the light switch. Turns off, turns on again. Good. But I'm also conscious of my heart still not beating and not having to breathe.
Yeah. Kindred can sort of choose whether to do it or not, and the really old ones kind of just stop keeping up the guys unless they're around Gein altogether. Being recently embraced, you still, I mean, even as Gein, some of the folks in the audience, maybe, that time where you catch yourself, where you stop breathing. Imagine that, except that moment never comes where you realize you need oxygen again and your brain kicks in and it starts it back up for you. If you can imagine what it is like to inhabit a body where that moment where you stop reminding yourself to breathe and the medulla oblongata doesn't kick in for you, and you find yourself this thing that you've done your whole life, this thing that's given you life all the years you've been here, just doesn't matter. How alien it must feel. As you're about to exit this room, You hear a voice you've never heard. Hey. You hear it whispering, but it's loud, as if it's coming from all directions. Sera maybe searches the room to try to see where it's coming from before realizing it's coming from inside. It's coming from somewhere deeper inside than any emotion or recess of any memory or trauma has ever echoed in her bones. Do not fear the dark. You're one with it now. It's home. Your blanket, your sword. And you see that one reluctant clutch of shadows off in the corner. Maybe between like the bedpost and the nightstand that's been moved slightly ajar. And this slightly, almost looks like this sort of tall, but just the angles of the joint in the body just a little bit off. Maybe that's the tricks of the light. You're not certain, stretching it in different directions. And you swear you catch out a pair of eyes in the middle of the pitch of dark, like just these two singular stars. And as you sort of do a double take, it's gone. No. Not over there. In here. You're hungry, aren't you? Yes. Nothing like the first taste. Oh, no, but you've had a taste. No. But not like this. Not like the one you want to take. And you're going to roll to see if you get hungry for the night. And whilst she's doing that, the rest of the coterie stirs across the city of Milwaukee, and they also roll.
Cass is not hungry tonight. Not yet, anyway.
Neither is Pix, although she should probably indulge in a juice box before she goes out for the night.
Nor is Sera.
Sal is not hungry either. Everything's
Boring.
coming up, coterie.
Oh, you'll know the call soon. The blood. It'll always call. And the voice seems to leave you alone for a moment. And you wait. And you maybe check that corner again. And you seem to be alone again. Sal, you've stirred elsewhere in the house. Where would your sort of area be?
Sal has a room in the basement that kind of safer than others. That he has secured, probably with not quite a vault door, but something to that effect. And he would come upstairs upon rousing and head to Sera. Likely, it would be a number of solid knocks at the door, kind of that boom, boom, boom. Sera.
Yeah.
Sal. Are you awake now?
I am. You can come in.
Sal opens the door and kind of just steps in, looming in the doorway, but unintentionally imposing, likely.
Has anybody ever told you you resemble Lurch a lot from the Addams Family?
I think you may have said that before.
Did I? Yeah, I guess so.
But
Do you even know what the Addams family is? Like, are you? How old are you?
I'm aware of the Addams family. I was born in the 1940s.
So you're older than my grandfather,
I suppose.
I think. Yeah. Barely.
Did you need anything? Are you hungry?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure how I'd fix it even if I was.
I could have someone brought for you, or we could hunt.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when it comes up again.
Don't wait too long. When you start to feel that first bit, the first pang of hunger, let me know.
Okay, I will. Thank you, by the way. I don't know if I said that last night. Last night?
Yes. How was last night? Our meeting with the prince and his judges.
Right. Am I really in danger? Like, are...
We were given 3 nights. And we must find this proof that his lapdog Shaw requests.
proof that the
Sabbat.
Sabbat are in the city?
Yes. And it is possible that that will also lead us to your sire.
Has Sera gleaned anything of what the Sabbat might be in any of the discussions? Does she...
Just in what
Uh,
Sal told her loosely of who the Sabbat were and the Anarchs and the Camarilla and the
Okay.
Drive to Decker.
Okay.
Which, let's plug, is that, when will that be dropping, that conversation? Sometime later?
Ambitiously, it should be out Friday. But
so check it out when it's out, people, and you
Yeah.
can hear how Sal slaughters an explanation of vampire politics.
the opus, ideally they'll land on the days between the episodes,
Cool.
so that it should have landed technically last Friday, but we recorded it Monday, and then I just didn't have time.
On Monday.
I didn't have enough time to get it up.
Yeah.
Tuesday because B-Dave and stuff. So
it's all good. I just wanted to, do the show.
No, it was good professional.
Check
move.
it out. What was said there?
Pro.
But anyways, yes, Sabbat.
so should we go get everybody else first and then figure out what's going on? Like, I don't know. How does this all work? Like the Babysitters Club, Hardy Boys. Do we meet behind a phone booth on Quaker Street?
Sal actually chuckles at that, I think. We can send word for the others, or we can begin the search on our own.
What do you suggest?
I would like to speak with someone before we gather the others. Make an introduction.
But we did that last night.
I am not originally from Milwaukee, and there's someone else from my home here that I would like you to meet. I believe the darkness and the shadows that you seem to have a pull to she may have some ability to educate you. She is a visitor here as well from Chicago. Love the side eye from Abby.
Do we get a lot of visitors here from Chicago?
Rarely. Milwaukee is a bit of an island surrounded by wolves.
So we can't leave?
It is difficult to come and go. Our nature makes it troubling in general to travel far afield. And surrounding Milwaukee even more so dangerous. But if you need to go somewhere, there are ways.
Yeah. So Prince Decker has pretty firm control over the airports of Milwaukee. Is one of the main sort of things. Sera, as a Milwaukee lifer, understands the sort of like weird Milwaukee, reputations, but it's their stories you tell out of towners that you have to have fun with them and stuff like that. That of a couple of the bars that are supposed to be haunted, and everyone knows the the various Dahmer and Ed Gein stories, and the just standard Wisconsin sort of mythology and folklore. Sarah's heard like a cryptid story or two of like a car getting wrecked by like an unnatural looking creature leaving Milwaukee or on some of the back roads. Like, and her brain, I would imagine, is starting to parse some of this as like, not obviously some of it's probably not true, but you're a vampire. And if you're a vampire, what other stories might be true? You've heard stories about people trying to like leave Milwaukee and getting just a little bit outside of like Greenfield or Hales Corners, and deciding to take a shortcut and getting off the highway and hopping onto like a residential street or a county road and getting lost for what they think is just a few minutes, couple hours, and hearing and their family saying they were gone for days. It's Milwaukee, so most people chalk it up to like a good bender, but Sal knows these perhaps to be known as the Goblin Roads. Another reason why it's difficult to leave Milwaukee, or get to Milwaukee for that matter. Sal being from like the 1940s, he'd be post, but he has criminal ties. That's might be something there for a future. But if Sal was a little bit older, he might know a little bit more about the Goblin Roads. But
Just missed that prohibition.
yeah. Abby, we're going to cut to Pix grabbing the juice box. I always thought you were a little bit more punctual there, kid.
I needed a minute to compose myself. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, there it goes. Character development, but all right. let me get myself together. But yeah, Pix, I imagine, like, to set the scene, she is currently sipping from the siphon of a blood bag, looking into a mirror, sort of like half-heartedly doing her hair, while the scrawny, imposing figure of her sire, Thompson, is in the background.
Like the scrawny imposing, by the way. Do you want to maybe give some descript to Thompson, like what would he be wearing? I have my mind's eye, but I want to see what.
Oh,
what
I
you-
do as well.
So
Thompson is wearing a brown two-part suit. He's got a fedora, and he looks like a classic 1930s gangster, except he looks like he has been sent through a meat grinder twice and then doused in bleach. He is just pale white flesh drawn over bones, and it is just skin taut over it. He's like Pix, but just something is rougher about him, and his milky eyes sort of flit across the room before they settle back on her. And I'll probably lift his hat and run a hand over his bald head before he dresses her.
I had arrangements made, another delivery, and kid never showed up.
Well, no offense, but I figured you'd have better sources than just, me.
Last whispers I heard weren't so great there.
Look, I'm sorry. I know I've been slacking on reports and all that, but the last few nights have been crazy. But Sundown, he's dead. Like, dead. Diablerized.
Not a big loss, just an inconvenience. Didn't have to call in Boons with that one.
How did you...
Crime and
Look,
politics.
I know we were gonna use him in one way. I just didn't expect him, to be expendable.
Told you. Everybody's expendable.
You're right, Sundown. Not Sundown. Your name is not Sundown. Oh my god.
Total
Freudian
different
slip
affect
there.
right now. I am insulted. No.
You're right, Thompson. You always are. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been so snappy. It's just been tension and not being around you and all this, and
There's that moment where his hand shoots out, and just like anyone who's had sort of like a traumatic relationship, it's that moment of tense where Pix kind of reflexively, but then the hand touches your hair. Nah, it's all right. You're probably just a little on edge, he says.
by the way, I love how you're doing Tom's right now. This is exactly how I imagined it, but let me get back into character.
I was trying not to go too heavy on the I imagine a gangster carnival barker.
Exactly.
And I appreciate a lady who appreciates value, like that, so that's just where my head went. Yeah,
but I do have, and before I kick the bucket, I did get some really good information. I know where Christian is.
That's something. That's that's something we can work with.
Yeah, and I'm planning to talk to him in this week at least. It's just that the next few days, I'm sorry I didn't get to you about this, but they're going to be busy. Very busy. My neck's kind of on the line here at the moment.
What'd you get yourself into here, Pix? You're supposed to lay low.
I know, you said find a coterie, all that, and I did. But the whole Sundown incident, and, well...
You can't keep
the plot...
blaming that Jamook. What do you...
You're right, it's my fault. Look, I just got ambitious, and I thought we could blame Sundown for the whole Sabbat thing, but it turns out there might actually be Sabbat in the
Sabbat
city.
thing?
Right. There's Sabbat in the city. I didn't mention that in our last report. I didn't expect you to show up so suddenly.
Roll a insight, subtracting your blood bond bond strength dice from the pool.
Oh, no. That's going to give me one. Actually, I think that's just going to be a straight up failure. That is the equal amount to insight I
You
have.
can rouse to boost a stat.
I can. I think I am going to rouse because in this sheer amount of nervousness of being caught floundering, Hicks is going to rouse the powers of her blood, and the beast is going to ask for more.
You could drink that whole fridge right now. Think of how fun it would be.
I could, yeah, but Tom's going to get upset, and I can't make another run because they know someone broke in.
Oh, just sneak one for us. He won't mind.
That is 3 successes. Whew.
Well, I think it'd be the 2 or whatever because the strength was added somehow. We'll just take the 2. It's fine.
I think it just automatic. Yeah, we'll take the 2.
We'll just take the 2. He doesn't seem surprised about the Sabbat thing. Maybe he's not surprised in the right way?
He's shocked more than surprised.
Look, let's top you up first, he says. Like, we gotta discuss things. You hear anything about Emily yet?
Not yet. I'm pretty sure that he's the key to it, though. And I'm gonna talk to him at least after 3 days, because right now the prince has us on an errand. He wants us to root out the Sabbat.
Decker's an idiot, but he's no fool.
He isn't. He didn't take any of it, and his fucking lapdog just had to say something about only taking us on our word. But I really do focus better when, I've had a drink, and maybe we should do that first. And Pix almost shyly, like hands shaking slightly, is going to reach for Thompson's wrist.
Yeah, he like puts one hand on your cheek, with the one hand and offers the wrist with the other. There, my child, it's all right.
You called me the other day on my daughter's wedding. Yeah, Pix is going to drink deeply and lose herself in the vita of her sire.
He lets Pix indulge just like that extra moment before pulling his wrist away. Like just that little extra, like the vampire's, kiss is always a, like an intimate thing, the sharing of blood and stuff like that. And there's that one extra moment where it like just enough to really get in Pix's head, but pulling it away before the Diabler could even be a phantom of a thought, showing some to our audience maybe a little of a guard on his part, but Pix is unawares in the ecstasy of topping up.
Like, as she pulls away, she's looking with these big doe eyes. Just, he is her world at the moment, and she just manages, with a husky, she has just filled her stomach with Vita. I really don't know what I'd do without you, Thompson, and I promise I'll get to your Christian as soon as possible.
Yeah, one thing there, Pixie.
Of course, anything.
Don't mention me to Christian. Don't mention me to any of your coterie. You already have, haven't you?
I'm sorry. And the one of them left, though. The one who she wanted to break us apart. Elizabeth, that's her name. She's a Toreador. You know how they are. You've told me about how they are. She said that you were controlling me and that this was unhealthy. She doesn't know that you're everything, and that and Pix is just devolving into like a muttering panic state.
He like wipes that kind of snaky way, wipes the bloody tear from Pix's eye. He's like, no, it's all right, Pixie, it's all right. Look, we'll let me worry about this. Toreador, Elizabeth
Harker. I have her Instagram if you want to look at it.
He just like, okay. Huh.
Thank you for coming here. I know that you needed to check in on my progress and my reports weren't coming in as much, but really, it means so much to see you.
I chose you for a reason, Pixie. You're special, you see. Not anyone can keep a bond strong from a bag.
I mean, you
Special.
made me special, and I want to keep being special, really, I do.
Right. But it makes you uniquely suited to be someplace else where I need you.
Right. You said I'd get torn apart in Chicago.
Yeah, for your safety.
Yeah,
But also, we're building something. I gotta lay the groundwork in Chicago, and I need you. Reconnaissance, information, every Nosferatu's trade secrets. It's our pride, and this is a big secret. You understand, if we control this one, we can control this city. We can stop running, we can stop being afraid, we can settle down. Maybe
I'd like that.
Yeah, maybe build something bigger, better. A new world.
A new world where we don't have to hide.
Or others hide from us.
But, this would probably be a great point for, like, did Sal call, by the way? Because I would just love that dramatic tension of, like,
Not
oh
yet.
shit, someone else is coming. Oh,
No,
boy.
they gotta go to the Sombra. I don't know what Cass is doing. I have an idea of what might happen to Cass in a minute, but if Cass was feeling like the tension, but
Oh, of course, like, feel free to keep going, but...
so Thompson, I heard something else I didn't like, Pix.
Yeah?
Pizza Boy. Sounds like a bad plot. Some sick film. You spend a lot of time around a Pizza Boy, I hear.
It's not like that. I'm not...
Oh, you're a young girl. I get it.
I don't think he even looks at me that way. And really, Francis, he's in recovery. He's in rehab. He's not... He just gives me rides and...
Rehab. Wait, he's like, do you trust him?
Yeah, it's just heroin. And his girlfriend, like, she's real sweet. I haven't really gotten to talk to her much, but he just gives me rides, and I helped him out one time.
No, I understand. You using the kind like that, but look, you gotta make sure you can trust him, Pix.
Of course I do. He's my friend.
No. You can never trust the kind. They're sheep at worst, wolves at best. Bond him, Pix. Make sure we can trust him. Or cut him out. Cut him loose.
But you say it's never good to leave strings attached. Loose strings.
I think you know what I mean when I say the emphasis on cut him out. His girlfriend know about you?
She does. She asked why he was in his car with a girl at 3 a.m., but then she saw my face and didn't ask anymore.
Junkies overdose all the time.
I can't kill him, Thompson, but, like, I don't want him to be, you know...
Then bond him. Make sure we can trust him.
Don't want to hurt you, and I don't want to hurt him.
You're
Can't
not
you bond
hurting
him?
him. You're not hurting him. He already knows too much. I can't go messing with Gein in this city. Not directly. Not yet.
I would like to make a willpower roll to see if I can resist his Thompson's command here.
I'm gonna have to open a book. All right. No, you can. But with the bond strength, I believe it reduces going against any of his direct orders. It's like a penalty of 2 dice or something like that for the bond strength.
Yep.
So.
Wow, I succeeded on both. But I don't think that's going to be enough for me to say no.
It's enough for you to question it, we'll put it that way. It's enough for Pix to maybe try to lie to him right now.
Yeah, I'll do it. Just give me some time.
Time sounds like it's the thing you got the least of here, Dollface.
Well, Decker's not exactly giving me a lot of time, and I'd rather not find out who the executioner is.
No, you gotta, like I said, we can't tip that one off.
I'm sorry for getting messed up in all this. I mean, I've told you about the tree and everything that, those creepy wizard bastards have figured out, but...
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that. That always ends badly for, well...
Yeah.
You could ask those girls over at St. Mary's about that.
I am around nuns.
No, all right, you said you need time with this, Francis. I'll trust you. I trust you. I always trust you, Pix. Always.
She's gonna feel a twinge of guilt at that, because she's gonna delay it as much as possible.
But, once you've gotten Decker off your back, once you've gotten some room, I want you to redouble your efforts. There's, some sensitive matters that just came to my attention.
In Chicago? Or is everything okay? Or are you okay?
Don't you worry your pretty little head about it. I worry about the big stuff. Secrets.
You're right.
Secrets.
You're right.
I gotta go visit an old friend. Oh, you didn't hear anything about, you didn't hear what was it? Plinko, Paczynski, Parovich? I don't suppose you heard that name thrown around any, have you?
Abby does not remember, but could I roll
You don't
something
need,
to remember?
you don't need to remember, or you don't need to roll that. Parovich, if it's... I'm going to have you roll to see if it, slipped in... I don't remember if I slipped the name in... I think it's been slipped around a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's heard it.
Maybe just like a straight intelligence?
Yeah. Let's see what context.
And I'm doing a lot of rolling. 2 successes.
I mean, I think it's a pretty pointed thing to know. Parovich, that's the name of Christian's sire.
Perfect. Oh, right. The whole monster thing. Yeah, Christian's sire, I think.
Is that who that is? Oh, just...
Yeah.
Name came up on something in Chicago.
Yeah, Sundown brought it up a few times, and before, everything happened. Said there's a real nasty history he didn't want to get into, but apparently he's the father of quite a few of the Nosferatu here in the city. Myself excluded, of course. But you know that. You know everything.
It's my business, and, business is good. Like I said, I gotta go check in with an old friend, Pix. You, take care of things. Like I said, no loose ends.
No loose ends. I promise.
One way or another. I'll see
yes,
you.
sir.
I'll see you soon. I might be around a little while.
You're staying for a bit? You're not going back to Chicago?
We'll see how these next couple nights go.
All right. I'll see you then.
And Parovich, without walking around a corner, Thompson just fades. Just in plain sight is gone.
I need to scream now. Oh my god, that was so good. That was everything I could have wished for Thompson and More. Oh my god. Also, the wind has gotten here, so if there is howling in the background, which I feel is very thematic, it's that.
Yeah. No, see that was the not knock out the power lines or anything, but add drama. That's what I summoned with the wind with my chaos magic.
Oh, that was so amazing. Also, oh my god, somewhere Elizabeth is just like, I feel a disturbance.
My favorite part was watching Charlotte's face that whole time. I wasn't even really looking at look over at Charlotte and just at the Instagram line. That was so good. So Haven or VA, Cass?
I think Cass would be at his Haven. He's probably plotting out his demolition of that warehouse. Well, his reconnaissance mission and then subsequent demolition of that warehouse.
For clarity's sake, the place you received all these things from was not the Pentex warehouse. That was we're not quite certain where Cass got the stock. We do know that the Midnight Nation radio broadcast covered some explosion or something like that. So, but that wasn't the Pentex warehouse that you were planning on doing something about. So, we maybe come into the bunker as Cass is rolling up some literal blueprints, old school schematics, because schematics are sweet, and Cass understands that basically the last thing on Cass's checklist to make this happen is a point of entry, some sort of way to bypass the security system, whether this is picking up somebody, bringing somebody in, a grease man, right? Like it's a heist movie or something like that, or dominating a security guard. Basically the last thing is just figuring out security. It's the last thing, and then you got the green light to assault this Pentex place.
I think Cass knows that Pix is good with tech, right?
I believe so.
Or at least, he has no ranks in tech, so
she's a zoomer. She knows it is automatically if it was a dot, every zoomer is born with 3 dots in it.
It's true. And once you get above apparently, I'm just gonna out myself. We'll go with 35. You lose a dot in tech that has been invented by a zoomer. You just what the hell is this tank talk shit? I have no, I can't. I get anxiety when I open up my TikTok. I made it because Molly sends me videos, my partner, and some of them you can't open unless you have a TikTok. And I'm like, all right, fine. She's like, have you watched that video yet? And I'm like, no, I can't open it. You made an Instagram to look at a GIF. And I'm like, yeah, because it was a funny GIF.
For the record, I am older than you, and I am on TikTok. I have videos on TikTok.
Yeah, but you actively technology, and you're more hip than me. You're better at this stuff than me. So you didn't lose the dot; it actually inverted, and you gained an extra one. And me, I'm just I have never felt overwhelmed by technology apart from TikTok. It's so if Twitter is the dopamine box, the digital dopamine box specifically made for my ADHD brain, where I just every time I push it, I get dopamine hits. TikTok is specifically made to assault my anxiety.
It is the ball pit of doom.
It's the worst. I don't understand it. I'm the videos keep playing. I'm why don't you stop? Fucking play I just wanted one video and you just and I don't know what this is. And apparently they think I'm the loneliest 20-something-year-old boring guy because I just get all thirst videos all the time as default. And I'm no. If you, folks on TikTok, if you're shaking your money maker and it's making you money on TikTok, have at you, your body. But I don't. I'm just here for I don't know, people pretending like they're dragons and shit, like like they're dragons going to high school or whatever. The fucking
Where's
one.
that TikTok? I need people being dragons.
Yeah, what about dragons
Dragon!
shaking their moneymakers, though?
See that's
Yeah,
based. I'd be
that
into
would be
that.
great.
That is
A
exactly
a dragon thirst trap video. I'm in.
It exists.
Dungeons and thirst traps.
Yeah.
I have detect thirst trap. I'm a rogue. Like, I get advantage. I get advantage against that ass.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna need a charisma saving throw.
If I
started this,
posted a
Abby.
thirst
You
trap
start-
and someone commented on that, I would be. I did start it, and I apologize. But I don't know if I would die from laughter or die from embarrassment.
That's how I'm going into the DMs. Excuse me, could you give me a charisma save?
Like putting a new spin on what DM really
dick.
means, right? Like Dungeon Master, direct message. Yeah.
But anywho, Cass, before we so rudely got off topic.
Just giving some stuff for editing.
That's so good.
I'm gonna go with. I'm actually gonna go with your suggestion. You go to open like the sort of maintenance door, and Cass is just standing there. I time lapse between like when you woke up. If I were to edit this for continuity, we would have had Cass start the evening rolling up the blueprints. Then we would have done the Sal part, and then picks, and then you would come in on the. I'm gonna fix it in post. We're gonna have Cass do the blueprint thing first. But
Pix is like shocked. I would say embarrassed even as she opens it.
Or
sees
like
Cass.
you head outside and Cass is probably more accurately you head outside and Cass is like walking up the street type thing and comment he had the idea to come look for you because he has this notion that technology.
I do.
So that was where you were going, right, Cass? You wanted to go meet up with her because so.
A little bit. I got.
Cass! Hey, you! It's been a minute. Hey, just me and you. Hey.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of just me and you, I gotta get in somewhere, and well, I'm not so hot with security systems.
Security.
I can sneak around and that kind of thing, but I'd like to make sure.
Well, here's the thing, my dear Cass. And like Pix actually becomes a lot more animated from that nervous slouch. At least I would say actually she like puts a hand on her shoulder and is just vividly describing, right, so what kind of system are we working? Are we talking CCTV? Are we talking like Apple? Because like I've just started working with that and like honestly, super easy, no firewall. Like just let me know.
Well, he's like completely lost. Here, he'll like hand her some blueprints and stuff. I don't know what you can tell from this, but yeah.
Yeah. So there's you're actually going to see a conduit on this blueprint. You'd have conduit layouts. So it's basically print off of a PDF, which is what most city blueprints are these days, is PDF. It's Milwaukee, so some of the older buildings, they're hand-drawn photocopies turned into a PDF, but this is a Pentex building, so this is going to be on your more modern side. It's going to have layers like drawn on it. It's going to have color coding, and you can actually see the sort of what would be sort of red keys for like its electric grid and stuff like that. Blue key for water and blah 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 blah. But you also see sort of the orange of telltale signs of like fiber optics, and they have their own CCTV grid, which is on its own circuit, separate off of the grid, on its backup generators, which are internal, and you'd have to somehow like physically go to the building, patch in on something to take out the CCTV itself. So yeah, they've got CCTV, they've got electrified fence, like pretty classic stuff, cameras, and then you've got like just basic magnet key cards.
All right, so looks like they got a basic local security center. So you're gonna have to take out their generators for that specifically because they're separate from the grid. However, it looks like they do have cards, but I think you could probably grab that off of personnel if you're sneaky enough. But I mean, I'd be more than willing. Actually, I mean, you know what's happening with everything. Court, I'm gonna be busy. Not gonna lie, it sucks lying to cast, but but I can show you what I know. I can get you some. I can get you a few like my manuals. I could text you something actually, and Pixel pop out like her phone, like scroll through. Like obviously, like it's an iPhone that she's hacked and like gotten a few things on there.
Yeah.
Like for basic, just like disarming. Like it's easier than just throwing a water bucket and less suspicious.
So, Cass, you can go ahead and roll an insight.
All right. Am I adding aspects to this or no?
I mean, you're a Malkavian. Are you tapping the network?
No, he wouldn't because
Okay.
like he wouldn't suspect. I guess.
Okay.
If this is just like an offhand thing.
Yeah. Pix, if
That's-
you'd like to oppose with like manipulation right now because you're flustered, but you don't like lying to Cass.
I'm a great liar.
It's 3 successes.
All right, subterfuge, manipulation. That's 2 successes and
And a
bestial
bestial failure. Since he had 3, which would be the target number, and you fell under that. That is a bestial failure. So how does your beast fuck up this lie?
I think Pix actually starts crying as she brings it up. Like she's just saying, "Oh yeah, like I'm busy, and there's everything with the Sabbat, and she almost slips up and says Emily, but then like she switches it for Francis, and then just the memory stops her in there, and she's in that deer in the headlights, just caught moment, and there's just tears starting to build up in her eyes.
I mean, obviously you see this breakdown moment. The tears, like, unless you're blushing, you're using your blood, right? Like it's.
Oh yeah, and Nosferatu cannot use blush of life.
Yeah, so she's like crying literal tears of blood, but like it's the same, I'll let you, it's your character, so. Cass, it's clear that she's not telling you everything. It's clear that obviously she's breaking down to you. I'm looking up something here, which is why I'm half distracted, but you can keep playing through the scene while I look this up.
You gonna be all right, little Matt?
It's just really overwhelming right now, Cass. I can get you whatever you need. I can give you advice. It just I need to I just need to decompress.
You don't get the feeling, Cass, that it is the trial or any of that stuff that's overwhelming her. There's something else.
You can always talk to me. I know I'm the guy who mutters to himself, but I've seen some things. I can listen too.
She wants so much to tell him about Thompson and disappointing him, but I would say almost the beast. Like as my sire came in unexpectedly and he pretty much told me I have an ultimatum to bond my best friend. Her hands actually of her not of her own accord go up and cover her mouth.
Bond or kill.
Bond or kill. Her hands not of her own accord just go up and cover her mouth, and she's obviously straining against it, but she just isn't able to speak.
Now the web comes online, or the Madness Network comes online without you wanting it to. You're rolling Auspex and Resolve.
Ruh-roh.
I love Malkavians.
That is 3 successes again.
Okay.
Was I doing an opposed roll to that as well?
I was going off your bond strength,
Oh, yeah.
and I am just seeing how I want to weave this narrative web.
Hell yeah, making a hard time for the storyteller. That's what I'm here for.
No, this is what I live for. Or unlive for? I don't know. Cass, you're speaking to Pix, and that thing happens where like you start to hear like a plane fly over and then like gunfire and stuff, and Pix, from your perspective, Cass just like quick puts an arm on you and like he's just suddenly not present. And like sort of rushes you off to the side, gets you up against the wall, and Cass, from your perspective, you are no longer in Milwaukee. You've lost utter sense of self and time. Pix is not Pix. Pix is a comrade in the trench. And that airplane flying overhead was bringing a resupply to this thing here, and it's getting in the shit, and you look over, and on the shirt, like where it lists the name, you see like Private Emily, and you get flashes of like Pix's rough features and face and stuff like that, but she's in this vision, this person that you've kind of held back is completely a stranger, or not Pix. Pix is a stranger to you in this moment. So this isn't Pix. This is Private Emily, and her back, and then an explosion goes off right down bunk somewhere. You're both rocked to the ground, and you hear a rush of water filling the trench. You're pulled under as it fills in, and the trench is a lake. When you come to, and you have almost involuntarily, you ask Pix, "Who's Emily?"
Cass? Emily is Francis's girlfriend. The guy who gives me rides. Are you okay?
I think so.
You have recollection of that flash. You understand it was a premonition of some sort, but it got muddled with a different memory, and it's...
Tell her to stay out of trenches and water. Stay away
water, Pix's eyebrows just shoot up, but she, turn her head away and rub her arm.
Stay away from lakes. Yeah. And trenches. Trenches by the lakes especially.
Okay, just forget, your blood and all that. I promise I will, and I've actually been thinking about moving out, and I've had a bit of help.
Oh. Alright, where's the new digs?
Oh. Sorry, someone was calling for me. I had to explain. Elizabeth actually left a letter. New place, paid for the first few months. But I do have to get a job, which is going to be difficult. Might ask Francis if his place has any openings.
Right on, boss lady's hooking up with a new HQ. All right.
It was like a parting gift. I probably should send her a text, let her know that I got there safe and I appreciate her. But speaking of, Cass, how is the girl doing? The one that we found in the apartment.
Oh. The greenie?
Yeah, her.
She's with Sal, right? I don't know how she's doing. I've had other things on my mind, I guess.
Right, this building. Actually, I just agreed to a breaking and entering plot, and that would make me an accessory to that. What are you doing in there? I feel like that's the first question I should have asked.
This is between you and me. I'm gonna blow it the fuck up.
Pix just is like looking around for a minute. You're gonna blow it? Do you even have explosives?
Cass looks like a little hurt. Yes, I do, little bat.
I really wish I could help now. That sounds fucking awesome.
There's. When do you think you'd be free? We're all busy with our own things. I can put this on the back burner for a little bit, but I don't want to too long.
Right, gotcha. Urgent. I've got my own stuff cooking.
Yeah, we gotta find the good old Sabbat.
Yep. This is gonna sound cruel, but maybe Sera knows, or maybe she has some intrinsic Sabbat magic power that will lead her to the rest of her family or whatnot, like in one of those cheesy Disney films. God, even if she wants to talk to me.
What is it with you and her?
Look, I wasn't in a good place that night. Cass, can you keep a secret?
Yeah,
like a secret. I hadn't seen my sire in a bit. And he is everything to me. I think you understand that bond. You have to. And look, he asked me not to talk about it, but you understand, you get it. You've always been here for me, right? And I just wasn't in a good place that night, and I'm gonna make it up to her. I'm gonna apologize, and just please don't tell anyone else.
All right. I won't.
Thank you. I knew I could trust you, Cass. Thank you.
You're never gonna learn to fly on your own, little bat. With all these bonds tying you down.
It's not that I can't fly on my own. It's just that... we'll talk about this later. What goes on between us is really... It's our business.
Right. Of course. I'm not trying to lecture you, just... I don't like seeing people get used.
You would never use me.
Right. Alright, right. Maybe we should go check in with the others.
Right. See how Sal is settling in with his new child.
That poor... that poor sap.
As Cass is sort of, trailing off there, and Pix and Cass hear the screech of tires. Sounds like to a little bit of a larger vehicle, maybe an SUV, van, something like that. People screaming, sort of the indistinguishable tongues of violence spontaneously occurring up off somewhere. So Pix's haven is off the Riverwalk, so you're kind of down, and then like the city's kind of built up above you, and you'd have to like find stairs, and you have to basically go up a flight. So it's something above and off to the side. It's just there's no way to see what's going on, but you hear it. It's impossible not to. And there's a loud like just thud and gnashing and crashing of steel and glass, and then tires squeal again. And someone shouts, "The fuck was that?" And someone else screams like, "It took her! It took her!" And then we cut to Sal.
Oh,
And
Damn.
we cut to Sal and Sera hanging out, porch, east side, Milwaukee, my old haunt. Use the word haunt deliberately. See the chunks of asphalt where it's been paved and repaved over several times, and a couple of the potholes where you can actually see the cobbled stone underneath. And you're waiting for Jimmy. Except Jimmy's late. Jimmy's supposed to be taking you to see a friend. Jimmy's never late, especially when you have to see a friend. Hell, he usually watches the place, right? Yeah, sometimes during the day, right before dusk, he likes to make sure things are ready. Keep a supply on hand if you get a little peckish. Maybe the stocks ran out and he ran to get something, but this isn't like him.
Tommy. Go out back. See if Jimmy's car's there.
He goes. Comes back a minute later. Car. Gives a thumbs up.
No, Jimmy.
Yeah. He can't, quite get that second syllable out. And you're not quite certain that was a J he enunciated even at the beginning. Did he say M? Tommy doesn't talk so good no more. He started to pick up a nickname amongst the crew of No Tongue Tommy.
I don't know where Jimmy is. Go check his car.
Sarah, would you watch this exchange? You sticking with Sal? You sticking on the front porch, just taking in maybe a new appreciation, new resentment for the night. And you're not quite certain what that voice was earlier. Like I said, that it came from all over inside. You had this instinctual understanding that it didn't mean you harm. In a weird sense, it almost was looking out for you. But it doesn't mean you nice things either. There's something, that voice that was in you. It's like one of those sabotaging thoughts. It sounds like your voice. But does it have your best interest in mind? It's something you've maybe been ruminating over. But as you look up over at the night sky, you take some comfort in that deep black. Maybe a comfort like Sarah's never felt before. You can almost see, like, you're not even focusing on the stars themselves for the first time ever. Milwaukee, it's noise pollution, air pollution, light pollution. It's difficult to see the stars. But for whatever reason, you can see the black. And the little patterns it makes, despite all that wonderful, city skyline pollution. You can see the black, and there's again a weird comfort in that. And thoughts are broken up by this interaction with Tommy and Sal.
Are there any streetlights out front of the house?
I have a feeling that the closest streetlight is a block and a half down, and that one on the corner right by Sal's house just keeps getting broken somehow.
Weird.
Fair. I will follow
The
Sal.
city stopped trying to repair it after like the last few times. It just rascal kids. What can you say? Probably throwing
Shot
rocks
it
at
the
it.
first 3 times, and
Yeah, I will follow Sal to the back to where the car is. Just kind of in a bit of a dark mood.
yes, Ponixby.
I didn't groan.
Sal will just go to the driver's side and open the door, start looking for signs of Jimmy or struggle or.
You open the door. Jimmy's keys are on the seat. Like they might be if you maybe set them down and went fishing for something, or like if you got distracted and dropped them. They're not. This is not where you deliberately put the keys. This is not the falling out the pocket like in the notch or on the floorboard, right? This is more of a dropped situation or set down.
I will peer around Sal's arm to the driver's seat. Is this normal?
No, Jimmy's bendable, loyal. He's kind of like clockwork.
You hear some trash cans get knocked over in the alley. And just to kind of set the scene a little bit, you've got this nice little townhouse, actually pretty respectable, like, quality, owned property, like the sort that any Milwaukeean East Sider would, kill to have. Unfortunately, a lot of like slumlords buy them all up way before you have the chance to buy them and rent them out to college kids. And you just happen to have one of these coveted townhouses. Been in the family for years, right? In the back, heck, you might even own the duplex next to it type thing. It might be, depending on your situation, I don't know. Maybe you rent that out. Maybe you're the worst type of vampire, a landlord.
Sal wouldn't stoop that low. Murder for hire, sure. Breaking and entering, sure, but renting, no.
Anyway, you've got like the parking pad, and then you've got like a little like 2-stall garage off the parking pad. Jimmy's car is on the parking pad. Who knows what's in the garage? That's your discretion. But on the pad, he usually parks there for quick entry, quick exit. Right? He loves his car, keeps it in top notch. Polishes the rims. Like if he's not doing business, he's taking care of this car. He loves to brag to anyone who'll listen amongst the boys, and you don't maybe listen when he brags about it. He loves to brag about the dual overhead cam motor, and it only came in the 1988, and he's just they race these cars in Germany. Like he loves this car. This is not like Sal. You hear those trash cans. You've got maybe end of the alleyway, sort of the top of the block, north of the block, opposite side, sort of that would get you out heading into Milwaukee. This would be heading out of Milwaukee on the east side, basically heading like further north, right? And there's a light at the end of the alley on the north side of the alley. That light's flickering, and the noise came from up that way. And then you've got the sort of residential houses, mostly like college kids and a couple like old retirees who are about to like age out and have their houses go into a bid war for whatever slumlord wants to take them and rent them out to college kids type thing, or the lucky couple that just happens to make the right bid at the right time to try to get back into the east side, right?
Sal's hand
All
goes
the
in
couples move to the south side of Milwaukee. or the suburbs. Sorry, little world building.
Sal's hand goes to the 45 that is always close at hand in the shoulder holster, and just kind of looks at Sera and says, "Stay close," and heads down the alleyway.
More trash cans, a little bit closer this time, followed by like a more organic thud, and sort of a wet, sloppy noise as something viscous. You know that sound. You're a vampire. You know that sound. Sal knows that sound. Sera will come to know it. That's blood hitting the ground. You can maybe even catch a little bit of that sort of like that iron, in the hemoglobin on the wind even, right? Kind of makes your tongue have that metallic sensation go over it. There's a lot of blood.
Sal will move that direction.
I'll be a few steps behind.
You come around the corner. Do you peek or do you just come around it?
Sal just walks straight around it.
You walk straight around, 45 in hand or close to hand?
In hand.
In hand. Discreet though, right? Like
Yeah.
tight to the body.
Oh, yeah.
Turn around the corner. You see Jimmy. He just knocked over his second set of trash cans tonight. Maybe his third. Blood just pouring out of him. He's got a old school switchblade in his hand. Some of that blood's not his. And it's god-awful smelling. A little bit more coagulated than it should be. A little bit darker than it should be. Doesn't have that, like, iron. More of like a burning. Like a sulfur. He's like, sorry I'm late, boss. I got hung up at the convenience store. And you, of course, know convenience store is not a store at all. It's a place he likes to go to kind of get you, make sure you have breakfast.
Sal right away will kind of, and this is a tie not knowing things, is there a restorative property to Vitae, to ghouls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can help. Okay. So he's got, like, he can call on your, the fact that he's alive with these grievous wounds is a testament to his sort of ghoul, ghoulish vitality from your Vitae. But unlike you, where you can kind of, like, keep tapping it and keep tapping it and keep tapping it, his stores run out. And his stores have run out. He took a hell of a beating, though.
Yeah, but before Sal inquires like what happened, he wants to make sure Jimmy's taken care of. So he extends his wrist and takes like his own, blade or fingernail, whatever it would take, and
like clockwork, you say. Jimmy doesn't hungrily, doesn't like hastily, he dutifully takes blood. Thanks, boss. Kind of like sits on the ground, like switchblade still like kind of loosely gripped in the hand, and you can already like that like sort of fresh artery that stopped. You can tell, and he's gonna still need some time, but he'll live.
Should you be doing that in the open? Weren't you warning me about that?
Nobody's watching here. This is my domain.
If that was true, though, you wouldn't be doing this for Jimmy.
Somebody attacked my man.
In your domain.
Well, close enough to it anyway. He says, sorry, I'm Jimmy. You're Sera, right? I brought you home, he says.
Yeah, I remember.
More of a what, boss? Like, something out, you remember them old horror comics? Ran on sometimes 2, sometimes 4. Twisted. Skin like a burnt out fire. Ash and burning, and maybe it's the blood. No lupine though. Twisted. It's wrong. Eyes. Just, I stabbed fucking right in them.
That description ring any bells? I mean, I only have a single dot in a cult, but
A cult.
and I'm
Yeah, you could do a into cult. You could do a wits occult too. Like it's a little bit more of a you may have heard something one time type thing.
yeah, they're both relatively poor dice pools.
Mm-hmm. You
know
could
it's
roll your Oblivion because you're more on the casty side of Oblivion. You could roll
Yeah.
an Oblivion and a cult as well.
Is that the Sabbat you're talking about?
Not sure what it is.
Well, if they
How do I
have a
roll?
Samisi.
Yeah. There's got to be a way to roll discipline plus.
I mean, or if you have a stat that has the same amount of dice as your, just proxy it in. As a quick.
You are smart.
That's that ADHD solving problems from the wrong angles. Sometimes it's more efficient, sometimes it's less, but it's always more creative.
Let's see. So
It's astonishing how
plus-
well I've coped with the ADHD stuff. I'm like actually proud of it, like it's a goddamn superpower. It's the other stuff that's like taking the mental bandwidth. There you go. 3. Yeah, that gargoyle should be some Tremere shit. That might be a Ben Sahar category because they can, but what kind of springs to mind is actually like Revenants. Tzimisce have a curated collection of ghouls. Each tends to favor their own. They all have their own experiments, and they end up with their own sort of, quite frankly,
Different kinds of selecta.
Castlevania monsters.
Yeah.
It really is the best way I can put it. In addition to the fact that they can make various like just regular things just look weird and wrong. But so those would be the two things that spring immediately to your mind. I mean, there's probably some other like sort of creatures of myth that are cycling through, but
likely Sabbat. Yeah. Tzimisce.
but Sabbat is like right at the top of your head. You jump straight to Tzimisce. They like to use, like I said, they've got a particular breed of ghoul that's really suited to dark dealings, called Revenants.
You were close to
Whole
home.
cast system and everything. Like they get their own ghoul sheets. It's pretty sweet, actually. I seem to recall like a second edition, like Revenant's Handbook or something like that once upon a time, too. Sorry. Get back in the scene.
Close to home, Sabbat.
So it is?
Most likely.
How do we find them then? Do we need everybody else?
We probably should. Meeting with Abigail can wait.
She's your friend?
Yes. From Chicago. Jimmy. Call
Sorry, wrong one.
Pixie. Call Pixie.
Oh, great.
Jimmy's the new Siri.
Jimmy goes into his inside coat pocket. Like apologies everyone. This is Jimmy. Looks at the screen. Damn screen cracked like a college girl now. And calls. Goes to call Pix. We will cut to them. Cass picks. Would you have gone to the van or said nah or whatever, the crash or the source of the chaos, or no?
Oh, I'm going to the van.
Okay. So we've got you've essentially figured out the source of the noise. You end up outside a couple it's just essentially the whole block is bars. It's downtown. It's like bars on the ground level, and then built on top of them are skyscrapers with office space and stuff like that, or one church breaking up a couple of the bars. But also, by the way, that church bar retrofitted. There's a what is it that Teresa the Vorman sisters, the asylum in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, awesomest bar ever. That's exactly what I picture in my head. That's what I hope everyone's picturing right now. Retrofitted church to be a bar. So it's just basically a few blocks away from the Riverwalk is, it's a lot of office space, apartment building, blah, blah, blah. But this just happens to be sort of the primary bar drinking street in Milwaukee for folks coming to Milwaukee, the sort of tourist trap drinking street, the business folk, the college kids. It's called Water Street. It just cuts straight through downtown from Lakeside to out to where it heads into sort of the deeper, starts to get into the city proper, and then it becomes a different street name. But that's Water Street, and it's just bar all the way down. You are off Water Street, which is where folks trying to avoid Water Street drink. And it's still just as lined, but the bars are a little bit more run down. They're a little bit more hole in the wall type stuff. A little bit more college is the best way I can put it. It is a weekday night, so the crowd's not huge. But it's Milwaukee. Times are tough. Patronage goes up. So there's about a dozen folks all gathered around a corner. You see, a gentleman, sort of in his 20s, sandy blonde hair. He's got an ironic mustache. Wearing skinny jeans and a Milwaukee Brewers t-shirt, sitting there, and he's got somebody in the crowd is giving him some cloth or rag or something that he's got pressed to his forehead, and you can see a little bit of the crimson mask coming down half of his face. Everyone is in gossip mode, broken off into little splinter groups. Everyone telling a different version of what they just saw. Nobody telling the same story. But apparently, and you see a van, sort of wrecked kind of in the middle of the intersection. And you can see tire treads going up over, the sidewalk and sort of cutting the corner and continuing off and heading north. Away from, basically diagonaling away from the lake and stuff.
Oh, Jesus, Cass, you don't think it's...
Emily?
No, not Emily. I'm... It just seems so targeted. You don't think this is a Sabbat thing, right? Your whole thing is terror, ambition, whatever. They don't give a shit about the masquerade.
Could be.
We need to get... Whatever it is, I think we need to get to the bottom of it.
All right.
and Pix is gonna head off into the trail of where that van.
All right, you're following the van
Oh,
trail. It's about there. Your
Yeah.
phone rings. You don't waste time with the crowd. I
Oh,
understand
no,
why
not at
you
all,
might
like-
not, but
Cass was maybe gonna try to ask the hipster kid some questions.
you could.
Oh yeah,
But
ask the kid questions. I'll like be on the phone, and then we could do a flash to that.
Yeah. So Pix gets the phone call, and while so we'll jump to the phone call after you talk to the hipster kid, basically. I resent that, by the way. Hang on, let me get my college voice going, which is a little bit of a Dana Carvey. I resent that, man. Brewers, they're mainstream now. Come on. Hipster? No, I'm kidding. No, so you have the Brewers shirt, skinny jeans, blood from the head. And he's sitting there, and there's a couple concerned folks sitting around. As you come walking up, woman looks up at you. She's like, already called an ambulance. He's coming. He just needs space. What do you say? What do you do?
Castle just like shrug and push past her towards the dude.
Hey! She kind of says, and then, but, like a physical altercation's going to happen here.
Like I don't know what I would roll for an intimidate. Like in addition
You could.
to
Yeah. So intimidate can be charisma, manipulation can be strength.
It'll be-
if you're like flexing up on somebody. That's a strength-based intimidation.
it'll just be kind of like a stare down, like a quick 1,000-yard stare down.
Yeah. So your
Charisma.
choice of probably a social stat, like a charisma, manipulation.
Cass has a charisma of 3.
There you
believe it or
go. Yeah,
not.
charisma. Yeah, I believe it. Malkavians are charming as hell. Like,
That
It's short for Casanova.
that's right.
that's yes. That's 3 successes.
All right. Like, it's really aggressive first aid. She says.
Castle just sort of like mutters as he's walking up to this youngster. He's like, I've seen worse.
Oh no, it's gonna need stitches. It's gonna need stitches in it, man.
Probably.
Yeah.
At least you won't have a plate in your head.
Yeah.
Ladies like scars too. Not emotional. Well, some like the emotional ones, but physical ones. Anyways, what happened?
It all happened quick. His van cut us off, and they just grabbed me right out of my passenger seat, and a couple others off the corner, and they didn't look right. And then they kept going. Like, I don't know, like punkers or something? I don't know, is Misfits back together or some shit? I thought Henry Rollins was off doing his own thing.
Cass will kind of laugh a little bit. Sorry.
Although I did hear Andrew WK was in town.
I think I may have seen him. Maybe. Anyways, grab 2 out of your passenger seat.
No, it was just my friend, and then a couple off the street. Just threw
They
in a
did-
van, and they kept going, but they didn't look right. He's like, their eyes. It was their eyes. Skin was all
Right.
fucked, but I don't know. suntan, tattoos. I don't know. It could have been tattoos, but those eyes. It was like they were burning, like burning up. It was yellow and orange. But it's just it had to be the lights. I'm drunk. Don't tell the cops. I've been drinking. You can turn down a breathalyzer. It's consent. You don't have to take a breathalyzer, and they gotta get a warrant for your blood test. By that time, I'll be enough to sober up. I didn't drink that much, but enough, I guess.
They look on the wolfish side to you?
I didn't drink that much.
Yeah, it's probably just your head and the booze there, son.
Shit.
I wouldn't stick around for the fuzz, though.
But
They can still get you if you turn down the test.
I gotta get my friend. I only need like a statement or something.
What's your friend's name?
It's Riley.
And your name?
Tyler.
Alright. Well, do what you think is best. I'll see about your friend. Then Cass is gonna kind of just leave him and head back over towards Pixie.
Pixie's currently on the phone, and that's where we can jump in with the conversation. We got.
Pix is not in the place to deal with people. She'll wave off Cass. I got a call to take. Yeah, hello?
Be aware that there are about a dozen plus witnesses, and more may or may not show up through the course of this conversation, because you're not on the main bar street, but there are
Right.
plenty of bars. It is a weekday night, so it's not like it's not busy. It's not a sea of people. It's spring turning into summer though, so college kids many of them have had their last classes already, so you could just so you're aware. All right, setting the scene, as it were.
Of course. Yeah. Pix immediately, pick up. Hi. Hey. Sal?
Jimmy made the call. Would I be on speaker or
I think if Jimmy maybe called and he's like,
hands the phone? Yeah.
yeah, hands it over to you type thing once he's got the ring and knows it's who he's supposed to get.
Pixie, it's me.
Oh, thank God, Sal. Something just happened over here. I don't know if it's, our associates, our competitors. Pix is just she's struggling to find a word. She's not going to say Sabbat on a phone line. But shit is going down, and I think we need to meet up quickly. Cass is dealing with folks back there, but it's getting bad.
With Sera, somebody tried to hit on Jimmy.
Someone tried to... Holy shit. Is he okay?
Yeah, he'll pull through.
Do I hear any of this exchange coming from
Yeah.
the phone?
Yeah, it's out.
Even without auspex, the vampire senses are just a little bit more heightened. It's usually attributed to the beast. Just it's that heightened sense of survival that the beast provides. You can hear it a little, enough.
When I hear that part, I'll raise my voice. And he made Jimmy call you. He was just stabbed, and he made him call you.
Yeah, I appreciate the concern, Jimmy says, and he's like, I just need to catch my breath, maybe take a nap, but I'll be right as rain. I'm gonna pull through. He says, and thank you.
Doesn't make it right.
Not
Pix is going to be quiet.
nothing's right in this world. But we do what we can. We do business.
Yeah, business. All right, so someone tried to put a hit on Jimmy. You
Okay,
think
so
it was our
now-
associates?
1 second. Technically, would Pix have been able to hear what I was saying?
Possibly, probably, maybe enough.
Yeah.
Flaw.
Oh, your voice is scrambled and fucky.
Oh,
Well, no, it really depends. Like the way we did it in one of my games was that they just couldn't touch the phone, but otherwise it could hear them because otherwise they wouldn't be able to use things like microphones and things like that. It seems to be limited to their touch.
So I was gonna do like it's the way I had read it and interpreted, and we kind of like is like observational technology or surveillance technology. It's not enough to count as a power or a discipline. Like you don't get a free ghost and machine ghost from your flaw. So like they see someone on the camera, and they can even identify you if like with dice and stuff like if need be. But it's stuff like the image is distorted or like like the eyes are blacked out or it's just like the stuff that's within the realm of for Gein to be within the realm of plausible deniability of like I'm not staring at a vampire. It's the camera messed up or the video messed up or the recording messed up, right? So like
Anything that perceives.
So the way I'm going to do it is like it's crackly and crappy, but you can make it out. Like, okay, is that acceptable? Because again, you don't get a free power from it, where you're like you can never be perceived. It's just always distorted. It's always messed up.
Yeah.
And mirrors pretty much do like pick your funhouse mirror effect. Any given reflective surface can do that at any given time. Like all reflective surfaces, in fact, like mirrors, cars that are super shiny, like Jimmy's, for instance. As Sera was walking past it, like her, like on the quarter panel, she looks like fucking like Slender Man. And then like on the next one, like her face is like twisted and looks like something out of an MC Escher painting, and just like really crazy shit happens in like in reflective surfaces. Is that acceptable? Or again, it's not enough to be overtly supernatural unless you are Kindred or like a vampire hunter or SI, and you know what you're looking for. If you want to, since it is your character, it's your Bane. And I'm a big fan of zhuzhing it up in your own specific way, like with your beast having its own manifestation and stuff like that. You can have like a theme to how stuff always distorts for you, a theme to how your image always distorts, if the eyes are always blacked out, or if it's always like a certain type of twist or a spiral like iconography, whatever it is. That is on you. You can do that, but it's again, it can't be like it's not to the level of free power where like you're not perceived or.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like for the phones, I would see it as like every second word is like cut off.
Yeah.
So you're only ever getting like half the conversation.
Sure. Yeah. Like I think it's distorted. Like she can hear you, but it's like you're talking like through a toaster, like into the phone.
And Pix is like.
And you hear Jimmy clear as day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird. Okay, Sera, I can't hear you, hon. I'm sorry. All right, Sal. Like, did you deal with whoever attacked Jimmy?
I don't know where it went. We should get together.
It?
I'll explain more when we're together.
All right. Yeah, Pix is
Where
gonna
are
look.
you?
Remind me of the street name, Math.
You are downtown, and you just downtown off Water Street. I mean,
downtown off Water Street.
Maybe Jimmy can go pick you up.
Yeah, Jimmy, pick up.
Keep walking north. We'll meet you.
All right, we're gonna secure this first. We'll see you there. We don't need 2 incidents across the city.
Then Sal will hang up and then get Jimmy back towards the house and get in the driver's seat of Jimmy's car.
Sera?
I will get into the back seat.
I do have 2 dots in drive.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. It's like, should I take the wheel? No, he's got this.
All right, I'm gonna do this in like sort of split cam. We're gonna go Robert Rodriguez filmography here. So we have Sera and Sal driving. Damn, Jimmy keeps his car nice. Is that fucking leather? That's real leather. Oh yeah, it's supple. Like even your like sort of, like deadened nerves. You can pick up like the extreme sensations. Bullets sting. Stuff like that, right? He keeps this vehicle so manicured, you can pick up through your deadened nerves the like. This is damn fine, like comfort riding. Even the wheel. Is that's sandalwood? Huh. Didn't really have Jimmy pegged as a sandalwood guy, and eucalyptus. Interesting. Maybe like seems
Everything except his haircut. He's got great taste.
Driving, we see the beams, sort of like flash and roll over. Like they do that thing where they roll over the hood into the driver's seat, and by the time they hit the back seat, they almost seem to part like waves, keeping Sera in a shadow as she drives. As you drive toward downtown Milwaukee, aiming for the sort of north side, right, of it. And by happenstance, that van took off north, and Sal told y'all to head north, Cass and Pix. So you did. That street up there was a little bit too crowded for your heightened kindred, just sense of self-preservation, of only trying to really be around kind when it's time to hunt. The wolf doesn't like hang out amongst the sheep unless it needs them, right? So you like screw walking down like this main street here. We're gonna hop back on, towards the river walk, or we're gonna take, like one alley here, one alley there, and keep kind of making our way north. And I mean, you're not gonna track a flippin' van through Milwaukee, right? Like this is the movies. And then you see sort of up, basically at the edge of your vision. As far as the city congestion will allow, of people and cars, dumpsters, construction, scaffolding put up. You see one person come like running, like down the street, and then real quickly, like one limping and helping another, and they're limping together, like kind of come hobbling out from the same place. They are not saying shit. They're not looking back. This is pure panic, pure fight or flight, and adrenaline has taken over. You're fairly certain, like amid the couple, the gentleman's leg is broken, and he's putting his weight on it. That's how much adrenaline is surging through him as they come around this corner. Or at least he's trying to, as much as his body will allow it before it physically is incapable, because the adrenaline high, the need to get away from whatever is over there, is that pronounced. And it is quiet. The city hum almost seems to have hit a wall. You can hear the city behind you, and whatever's up there, quiet. No ambient pigeons, no music reverberating off the windows from a late night karaoke bar. Do you head toward it, or do you stay the course towards Sal? Who knows how long Sal will be wherever you're meeting him.
I'm going to head towards it cautiously. And actually, as this happens, Pix is just going to look at Cass and then activate Unseen Passage. And I'm going to browse for that. Hopefully I don't get hungrier. Motherfucker.
Just look. They're already wounded. Just a bite, just a sip. Your beast.
Not people.
Just a bite.
No.
The juice boxes are great. They really are. I want a pool of the juice boxes. But like, just this once. Maybe even use a straw. Yeah, look, they've got those little umbrella drinks over there on that table. Straw, like an umbrella, right from the source.
For eating after.
You're no fun.
Neither are you.
Cass will also go into stealth mode, Unseen Passage.
All right.
He does gain a hunger.
Hey, you're as much of a prude as that one. Look at that one, limp. You'd be doing him a service. He's gonna die slow. If he doesn't die, he's never gonna walk the same again. Just a bite.
Cass is going to shrug it off for now. I mean, it's only one hunger.
We did way worse in the war.
I'm sure we'll do way worse again.
The night's young.
He won't get far anyways.
Cass Beasts, like almost like you could see just like him in a shadow form, like look over and like they take a note of the trajectory the wounded couple is headed. Or maybe they don't. Who knows? Maybe that was some flight of fancy. And you're a block away. Half a block away. 3 doors. 1. You get to the alley, confident in your invisibility. You turn the corner. See the van. A mess of steel. It has been reduced to modern art. How the hell did anyone walk out of that van? You see a pile of ash blow across your feet. A second pile of ash blow across your feet, and you lock eyes with these 2 smoldering beads in the dark right before they're snuffed out by whatever has its hand around its throat. And a pit wells in your stomach. Hairs stand on end. Your beast. Run. Run! Run! It shouts as you hear. More worms. And you catch the form of a werewolf. And we'll call it there for the evening.
Damn.
The van was used against us! Oh my god, Mom! Oh my god.
So yeah, like and subscribe to watch more Milwaukee by Night and know when we go live and shit.
Is it Wednesday yet?
Is it Wednesday?
Like and subscribe.
Boom! There it is. Pun XP. While you're all here, Charlotte's been working real hard on stepping shit up. We're probably gonna actually, Dobby, what are you doing?
Where did he come from?
Ganked by Doblord. He's so Dobby. Oh my
Speaking of
gosh.
stepping up, Dobby's
Dobby
here.
says,
I
I'm
mean-
gonna step it up. Also, oh my god, I just noticed your shirt. I was like, I'm getting my friends as a gift got art commissioned of my Zamisi Sabbat character, so that makes me so happy.
I mean,
I will have to post her when she's done.
maybe I was subtly. All right, Dobby, you got to go, my friend.
You just yeeted him.
Nope, coming back. Nope, he's coming
What?
back.
What does like a
Oh, Dobby with the
character?
metal chair.
No.
What is what does like a character headshot commission cost these days? Are there like
just
artists
use
that
your
do,
phone
like,
and a bounce
5?
card, man. You don't need a pro shot. Get
Like
down.
honestly, it varies. Vera,
Once.
the person who I'm getting Cypress done by, for a full body, she charges about £60, which, considering her art, is like such a good price for it.
She charges by weight.
she's
No,
she's
no,
British.
I know.
My character sketch is going to cost a lot then. Sal's a heavy guy.
Says a big boy.